Hello friends, welcome to the new presentation of Soft Skills Enhancement series. I will share few tips on how you can manage your office emails in an effective way. Emails are important. So there is no work without an email today, right? Or you cannot get the work done from your team, or even you don't know what to do when you are not seeing an email to you. Uh, so emails as such are very important for us to do our day-to-day work. But how often do you welcome emails, right? Most of the time, it is a routine message or it is a monotonous email that you will see always on a daily basis, which will ask you to get the things done uh, today, and then you start your day according to that. So, so basically, emails is sending you some command, and you are acting on that and you are starting your day and ending your day as per the email. So this makes email as your boss. I will explain further how this is true. One very important thing about the email is that one of the feature is that emails are not polite. You never see a polite email. Even you say someone hi or greet someone, say good morning, that's fine. But if you read through the email to the end of the email, it is not always polite. It will not tell you polite things to do. It will not make you more happy. Uh, Rather than it is telling you few tasks, explaining you few tasks to do, and then you are supposed to do that task. For example, you have to meet a deadline, right? The email will explain this is a deadline of this work, and by this time you have to get this work completed. So this is not a polite thing. That email is explaining you rather than just commanding you something that you have to do. This is a deadline, and you have to follow it. Now you cannot avoid the message. If you are dealing with your boss and you say I didn't read the email message, so this is not acceptable, right? You cannot say that I have not read your email message, right? Email sent to you, received in an email box, you're supposed to read it. There is no way you can say that I didn't get a chance to read your email. Right? That's not accepted. So you will not be able to, give this kind of excuse too many times. So this is like you have to act on email, right? Email is something you cannot. It's like evidence that you were asked to do that thing, right? So it's your thing. Uh, it's the evidence that you have received the email, and you cannot say that I have not received the email or I didn't get the email, right? This is not an acceptable thing. Now there are other issues, right? There are other issues. The bigger issues that email would have is communication issue, right? And I will explain you further that how can you deal with such an issue and how can you manage this more effective manner, right? How can you be better ensure better communication through emails, right? So few of the things that you should do is, first of all, be polite. As I said, emails are not really talking about good things, but the least you can do is be polite to emails whosoever you are addressing. State with the name, say hi or hello, or dear. You can use even in an official email. So, dear colleague, hi colleague, or hi, hello colleague, whatever you want to choose for your email. But very important, you greet someone at the first place. So it doesn't sound you are commanding right from the beginning, right? At least, okay. And then below that, you can greet other way. Good morning. Hope you are doing good. Hope this emails find you in a good mood, in a good spirit, and so on. Something like that, and then start. Okay, that's now come to the point. Very start. You don't have to be. It's just one line or one word that you have to greet uh, the receiver. Right? That's it. And whether you beat your client, beat it your colleague, it doesn't make a difference. You're sending to the client, it's same way you're sending to colleague or a friend or your subordinates. It's the same way, right? Or even to a boss, it's the same way. You don't have to be different for other people, right? Very important. Be polite in one line or one sentence or one word. Very simple, right? And try to make your email message very clear. Very clear what you want to do it. Don't write stories around it, right? It's very important. You have to give one message in short time. It takes lesser time for a reader and more information to your reader. Right point to point message, precise message, right? And also, if you're receiving the email, provide acceptance. So, for example, say you have received an email message from a client and it is asking you to do something, some task, some reporting. Okay, say it is asked you to provide you some reports. Always acknowledge at the first place, right? It gives more value to the sender. Why? It now knows you have already read the email and you're working on the email. Even if you are not done the task, you're not completed your task, just say that I have received your message, I acknowledge your message, and then I am going to work according to the deadlines, or I will provide you this report by this time. So your reader, your sender knows it that you are already working. It's a great communication strategy. When you are communicating with your reader, sometimes we don't do it because you read the message, it is understood that, but you are dealing with client. This is very important. If you're dealing with client, at least do that kind of communication flow. It will help you to gain more trust from your client. Okay. And again, be very clear on whatever you write or whatever is sent. If even if you are writing to the person what you want to do, is very important that you are very clear on the task and you are acknowledging back. Again, you are very clear on what you are acknowledging, right? And then, because email once you send, you are actually supposed to do that, act on the same thing. I would like you to understand few do's and don'ts of email writing, and this has come with a lot of experience and a lot of years of managing different clients, different things. So uh, few things very important. Emails can be misunderstood most often. Mostly emails are misunderstood because when you're reading the email, it is your perception of how you want to read it, how you want to see it, right? You are just reading the email, there are a lot of things going in your mind, lot other things, other work areas, and that happens. So it is not always 100% that you will understand the message in one time. It's very rare. Even if it's a complicated email sometimes, then it is more trouble that you understand complete message, right? Now it is from sender side also. It's not always from receiver side. It is more on sender side. Now you cannot blame your client it is a sender, if the sender is your client. But then the person who is sending, if you are sending to someone, say your subordinate, to your team member, your colleague, always ensure that you are explaining the task very clearly. Very clearly. Maybe if you are over communicating a bit, it's not always, you want to make a lengthy email. It's not good practice. But even if you are explaining some complicated task, always explain little bit, giving some examples, right? It's important. Or say something, which is taking lesser words but more effective to understand. Think about that. How will you want it to receive it when you are, how will you understand if you receive such an email? Send the same way to the receiver. That being a sender, you have to make sure that your message is correctly read, right? So, and second thing, then interpretation of email message. This is the most difficult thing because even if you write your best, sometimes your emails are not really understood very well, right? There could be a lot of things, could be language barriers, could be country barriers, geography barriers, right? And other things, a lot of diversity at workplace today. People are working in different locations and everywhere. And this is very important. Then again, interpretation of email message becomes more challenging. You always try to interpret the message, reading it few times. And if you don't understand the message, right, what you need to do is you need to jot down points which you don't understand. So there, out of 10 items, you understand 8 items, but you don't understand 2, that's fine. Very much fine. You don't have to panic if you don't understand those messages, because that's how it's a real, it's a very natural thing, real thing, that you don't understand it simply because it's an email, right? Even if your client cannot, really expect it 100% and they understand it, if you write them back and say your understanding of the message, and then say these are the things I want to further clarify. Is this point A or point B? How you want it, right? So this is a point A. Do you want this to do you want us to accomplish this point A, or is this you are saying this is the point B? So, for example, you are you know what you have to clarify which is what. So if you are confused with one something which the client wants to do it, say the client wants to prepare your report and client wants to work on simultaneously on few of the reports, so you can ask them, is it which report you want first, which is a priority of which goes on priority, and say for example it's A report that goes on priority or a B report that goes on priority, so something like that. So it is very important you check with them, refer them back, send them back. Oh, this is what my understanding of overall email. I acknowledge the email, but and then there are few further points I wanted to clarify, and this is taken as a good, in a good faith, in a good trust. There is no harm sending the client back, asking your questions to the client, right? Clarify at the first place. Earlier you clarify, it is good, nicely accepted. Later you clarify, they will say, why did you say tell me first, right? The first time when I send you the email. So why not to ask first time, even before you start your work, then to start your, and it will help you overall, making your business more efficient, making your time you save, because you don't have to do repeated things. If you're clear at the first place what you need to be done, then you can focus on other issues, other challenges, say other reconciliations, rather than just focusing on doing the things right wrong at the first place, and then recorrecting everything. This is very important. These are very important soft skills, right, today, that you learn, and this gains only with years of experience, right? One thing which you can do always, do flagging the items. Make sure you do flag your emails which you have read but you have not completely read. It happens in daily, right? You have thousands of emails. Sometimes we deal with like hundreds of emails at least uh, at a particular level, middle management to senior management. We do deal with hundreds and thousands of emails. Now you have to start flagging emails, which helps you to turn to the back, and make a habit also to turn back to that flagging item. Sometimes we flag it but we don't turn to it, right? Turn it. It will make your communication very effective. You don't have to deal with communication issues, right? So, and jot down somewhere, somewhere what what is more effective way you choose, that you want to jot down in Excel, in Word, in Notepad, or in a copy in a Notepad. Very simple. Whatever you do, make sure it is helping you, right? Jot down the point. These are very important points when you are working. Trust me, when you're working on email, but trust me, this helps doing your overall task of the email. These few things, if you note down these few things, it will help you a lot, right? It will help you to actually write also email effectively, interpret also email effectively, and actually deal also with it effectively. Few other things, you need to provide the complete clarity to the reader of the email, right? Whatever, at the first place, even if you are a client and you are dealing with your uh, say contractors, or if you are dealing with your service providers, or you know uh, or dealing with internal users, whosoever you are sending email, it's your responsibility also to provide your complete clarity to the reader. Don't miss out points, don't miss out attachments, in the email. Write them precisely, right? Very important. Write them precisely, not the big stories, and explain them more. And then words, I've seen people writing points and points and points of emails. It makes like 15 points, 20 points of emails. I really don't think that's the right idea. To send too much of lengthy email, right? Take a phone call, take other communication channel, a Zoom or something, and tell them what you want to deal with it. Why you are writing so much of lengthy emails? It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. Just reading the email, then it is not understood. Then coming back to that point, and then to and fro of all these things. Avoid that always. Wherever it is possible, do communicate through other channels. Take a phone call, take a Zoom call, and explain the message. And then write also, but write an email, but always explain. If you are writing too much of these points, generally it is not happening. Doesn't happen really. If you write an email, you thought, even if it's a lengthy email, a person will act upon it. Now think about that, it will act upon it. You know, the chances of acting upon it 100% is really not easy, right? So all these things, it's very important that you provide a clear explanation. Wherever possible, write shorter emails, and when you are as a reader of the email, ask questions. If you have doubts, ask questions. Revert back to the sender that this is my understanding and this is what I need to seek more clarity, right? One thing, guys, please read your emails through the end. Sometimes emails are not read through the end and you miss some important points. Scroll, see the page is scrolled up to the end, right? Sometimes you mail, you totally get the message incorrectly if you don't read it to the end. Okay, see all the attachments also. Sometimes it's like 5 or 6 attachments sent, but you are thinking that only you can see only 3 attachments. It's all 3 attachments. Scroll the attachment. There is scroll down button also. So all these things will help you. I hope you will gain from this video and how actually you manage your email very well, effectively and efficiently. You manage overall work very efficiently if you follow few of these steps. Thank you so much.